Finale in the house.
Hello.
Dude, we're in Amsterdam right now. That's crazy.
I am back. I have not been back for almost 3 years. It feels very surreal to be back here.
It was crazy, like the last time I saw you was in the summer of 2018.
Yeah.
It's now autumn 2021.
It does not feel like that.
What have you done in the meanwhile, dude? We've released 8 songs?
8 songs, yeah, all from 5,000 miles away from each other.
Yeah, when you left, I was really sort of bummed out, and I was like, dude, I just, like we said, it's like a relationship between
100%.
people. And it was like, I just met the most amazing person, and you're like, dude, we can build something here,
Yeah.
And then they move away.
Yeah, I was extremely lost and disorientated after that move. That was the hardest move I've ever had to do. And I've moved about 5 or 6 times in my life. I feel like we were on such a good roll as well with all of our music, and then all of a sudden my family had to move back to the US, which was a very tough thing because it's almost like having a girlfriend move away,
It's exactly.
It's like, yeah, it's like, do you do long distance? Do you try, or do you start hanging out with other people? I think that's something both of us did for a while. We kind of tried to find other musicians because we thought there's no way the long distance thing would work.
I was jealous for a while, so it's exactly like that. I was like, dude, and that's actually where Sweating Without Me comes from. But I'm like, bro, you are in this paradise world, hanging out, jamming, having shows,
At least it looks like that, yeah.
And I'm sitting here super bummed, and you're having fun, you're sweating without me.
Yeah, and it's funny how you thought I was having so much fun out there when really I was fucking dying.
Well, I didn't know, literally up till now.
It's so funny how, you can assume so much just from seeing such a small scope perspective on social media or, just through the few texts that you get.
Yeah, but it was also pretty crazy because we went through those processes. We sort of tried. You were like, dude, get your shit together, let's record. And then we had a little falling out. And then it came back and it was just a misunderstanding. And then from there, we sort of I think I definitely realized the value in sort of the way you were pushing me to do something, and got my shit together, and boom, 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 a year later we had an EP out.
Exactly. And I think it was a very hard part of that was the transition between going from, because we had worked all in a pretty good studio. We were doing all of our recording at SAE in Amsterdam, which is a proper, very well-equipped studio, and we were making the transition just doing things all on our own at home. And I feel like that's a very hard jump for both of us to make, and it took us a while to kind of find our bearings, find our placement, and then once we got it, I feel like it immediately clicked. We're like, okay, yeah, we got to start making music again.
Yeah, I think when you sent me the drum tracks for Give Me a Minute, I think, was that the first? I think that was the first one.
Yeah, funnily enough.
Suddenly I was like, oh shit, this is real. I can listen to these drums, I can mix these drums, they exist on my computer.
It's funny because it almost didn't click to us that we could even do it long distance, because I think for a while it was almost impossible with just the technology we both had access to. We couldn't really send each other massive files, or I couldn't record drums for at least the first year that I was there.
Yeah, but you kept saying it, and I was like, I lived in my ignorance. And I was like, no, but I can't. What am I supposed to do? And it was not the biggest upgrade to get to where I was now, where I am now. I don't have the biggest studio, but it's bedroom studios.
Yeah.
It's a bedroom EP.
Yep. And I think that's something that gives it a lot of personality, because it's a bedroom EP. Everything happens kind of in a very personal space,
Yeah.
It lets you be a little more open, I feel like, and try more ideas, if you were in a studio, you would have people trying to interject in, and you'd be stuck to this certain time slot, whether when you're recording in your bedroom, it can be 3 a.m. and you can do a really light track, stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember doing a few vocal takes just in the middle of the night. I remember even for the first takes of C4F, I wanted it to sound a certain way, and I got into bed and I just held the microphone in bed, lying down, and I tried. It didn't work. I had to redo the tracks, but I tried it, and that's just one of the things you can do. Obviously, you could do it in a studio.
Yeah.
But then someone's gonna bring a bed in, yo.
Exactly. Yeah.
And probably gonna think you're crazy.
Yeah, probably.
But I also think just the fact of having to do it like this, maybe if I could say the hard way, came with the perks of lazy choices in many ways. A lot of the choices that I made were just like, dude, I'm not recording this again, or I'm not gonna edit that.
Yeah.
I cannot be fucked. And it worked out for the best, I wanna say. But it would have been so different if you were here or if I was there. It would have been so different if we had done it in a studio. And just everything would have been different if anything was different.
Yeah.
Funnily enough. But I think so different that I can't comprehend it.
Yeah, I can't either. It almost would be, I mean, it would be completely different if we did this EP the same way we did our previous stuff. I mean, it has a completely different personality now, I feel like.
But I think when we started it, we didn't know that there was a potential difference to be made.
Yes.
Because I remember sort of taking the photo for the Roses cover and having the idea in my mind and saying like, oh, this would probably fit on that album we were working on with Space Cake and Sorting Without Me and whatever. As time went by, things just fell into place. This EP fell from the sky. Like, it just sort of appeared. And sometimes, like I said, with the Is It You, Is It Me lyrics, I understand them later. Sometimes with the C4F lyrics, they made sense in a context in the future from when they were written. And so much of this just sort of like happened, and it's intriguing, but it's something you can't question too much, because once you really get into it, the magic sort of disappears.
Yeah.
Although you can never really find out what it was about, the magic sort of exists in not knowing what the magic is all about.
Yeah, it exists in the mystery.